Hi, my name is Bognon, and I'm the Program Director for the Innovative Peace Fund at the International Civil Society Action Network. And I'm here this afternoon with my colleague and friend, Clotilda Andiensa from CAGEAD in Cameroon. We are in the beautiful Maldives right now at ICAN's 9th annual forum. And we're taking the opportunity of being in person for the first time after 2.5 years to sit down and talk with our friend, Clotilda, about her experience as a grant recipient with the Innovative Peace Fund and her experience as a WASL member. Thank you, Clotilda, for joining us today. If you can, maybe introduce yourself quickly, then maybe tell us a little bit about your experience as an IPF grant recipient.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Franz, for having me here. My name is Clotilda Andiensa, and I'm from the Northwest region of Cameroon. I'm the CEO and founder of the Center for Advocacy in Gender Equality and Action for Development, CAGEAD. I'm a WASL member, and I'm a beneficiary of the IPF fund. I'm very grateful, and it is a beautiful fund. I want to tell you that every civil society organization should be envious to have it. Being a member of a beneficiary of this fund has actually strengthened our organization at different levels. It is a special fund because, one, it doesn't only give you the money, it accompanies you in the development of the project proposal, accompanies you in the execution, like every month, to find out whether what you said you were going to do is being done the right way. And at the same time, it provides some very technical support, like training even within the time that you are carrying out your project. We have been special beneficiaries to having new policies. We have had the safeguarding policy that ICAN supported us to be able to develop. We have developed financial systems. We recently had a training on QuickBooks, which we didn't have before, so we are really able to arrange our finances the right way right now. I think that the Innovative Peace Fund is actually innovative. It doesn't, you don't need to be at a particular level, but it brings you on board with your weaknesses and strengthens the weaknesses to the level that it wants.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the projects that you've been implementing with support from the IPF?
Yes, I think the first project we had from ICAN under the IPF project was the emergency response for the COVID-19. When COVID-19 hit, we benefited from this project to increase grassroots women's awareness on how to identify and prevent the disease. And we trained 20 women who went down to the communities and carried out door-to-door sensitization and providing PPF equipment so that women were able to quickly understand what the crisis was all about, what was COVID-19, and how they could take care of themselves. The same project actually trained women who had come from the villages in Cameroon who were affected by the crisis on how to sew masks. So we got women who actually gathered and produced the masks that we're distributing. The project at the same time provided a lot of material. We had buckets, we had sanitary pads, and we had food hampers that we gave out to women in the community who at this moment could not leave their homes. There was also having some aspects of gender-based violence that we're working with victims of GBV. This was quite within a short time, and we are so grateful that, in short, it took us less than 2 weeks to develop the proposal and to receive the money. It was quite smart.
You have an ongoing grant.
Yes, and the second grant we have received was to raise grassroots women's awareness on the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, which is meant to strengthen their participation in decision-making positions. And with this project, we have developed the capacities of 30 community peace ambassadors, 20 women and 10 men. And by this, we also developed the UN Security Council Resolution 1325 handbook, which the community peace ambassadors are using to run their community peace clubs. So the 30 community peace ambassadors have formed 30 community peace clubs in Bamenda 1 and Bamenda 3 in Cameroon, and they are actually animating these clubs every month. In the first phase of the project, we actually reached out to 1,700 community members having a close discussion. And what does a typical club session look like? Because we went down to the field. In a typical club session, they are looking at the 4 pillars of the UN Security Council Resolution 1325. They want to see what is participation. So they're looking at the issues and the places. When they talk of women's participation, what is it that they want? How are they participating? Where are they participating? And what are they saying? So they are looking at those structures in their community where if women actually participate, their voices could be factored into the decisions that are made in their communities. And so we have been looking at structures like the quarter head compound, the council, the traditional councils, the church sectors. And during such meetings, women sit together and they actually discuss, and the men are getting to understand what they are losing by keeping women out of these decisions. Talking about the second pillar, which is prevention, they're getting to understand that prevention has to do with preventing sexual gender-based violence against women and girls, especially during the crisis that we are living. And they get to identify what exactly it means, because many men, as we have come to know, did not really understand what that means. And in this prevention, women are learning different forms of gender-based violence, and they're learning how they can prevent. And if they're unable to prevent it and it happens, they move to the protection mechanism. What are the mechanisms that exist? So they didn't know all these things. They wouldn't even know the particular structure that when a child or a woman is raped, what is to be done first. So these are the basic things they are learning. They're learning the referral pathway. They're learning who is in the community that can give pro bono services to them. They're learning which medical services they could get there immediately. And all of this, they're sharing experiences. And because of this, many have stepped out and have actually been able to say things have been happening to them. We moved down to the last pillar, which is recovery. Yes, and psychosocial support. What are the issues? How do they offer it? Many of them didn't know that exactly that's what they have been doing. When somebody leaves from the village or from somewhere and gets to your town and doesn't know where to sleep, when you provide accommodation, that is relief. You are relieving the person from some kind of pain or the other. When you give the person food, when you give the person clothes to wear, when you give the person psychological first aid, anything that you do immediately to help that person is already falling under that pillar. Recently, we are now with them beginning to look at, okay, we are now talking of the reconstruction program. If actually there is a reconstruction program, where is the place of the women? How are they supposed to intervene? How are they supposed to participate? And now they are putting themselves together in the second phase of the project, holding their councils to let them know what package has come to their community and how the women's concerns are being factored into it and how they are actively taking part in that.
I think that this is one of the really important things about why having local projects and local organizations really truly define the projects is because you know the stakeholders, you know the different groups, you know the different areas, and you really truly understand how to localize 1325.
Yeah.
If I can, in just 1 or 2 short words, can I ask you, or 1 or 2 short sentences, what is the one thing that distinguishes the Innovative Peace Fund from other grant-making mechanisms?
I think the one thing is that it's flexible. It's very, very flexible. It is not like you must have this before you receive the fund. With the fund, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. What matters is if they believe in you and what you can do, and they believe that you are coming from a community and they have seen you doing things in that community, they will give you the fund without necessarily going back if you have had so much fun, if you qualify for it. So and I think it's because they have a beautiful system to follow up, to mentor, and to get to the end. You are doing the work they are guiding. They are not coming there to tell you this is what you're supposed to do, but they just guide you to do it. And I think that the results have been wonderful so far.
Wonderful. That's amazing to hear. Thanks, Clotilda. The last question, if I can. If you could, just in 1 or 2 words, tell us what your experience of being at the forum is, or why you think the forum is important.
The forum is very, very important. Starting from 2 years ago when I was able to attend the forum in Oslo, in Norway, one, I met so many people that under normal circumstances, I wouldn't meet them. I can remember that I met the government of Norway. The second thing is you meet women who are going through this almost similar kind of situation like you. And just having a chat with them, you realize that you are not the only one. We came from Cameroon thinking that we're just suffocating with the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest. And then when you sit down and listen to somebody from Syria, somebody from other parts of the world, you see that, okay, there is even more reason for us to come together so that we can synergize, strategize, and get new ways of moving ahead. Just here now, one other good thing is also an opportunity for us to refresh, re-energize, and then re-strategize and chart the way forward. And we continue to meet and network with so many other people. It's been the same here now, and I'm really looking forward to us coming back to the Maldives. It's been wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us and for sitting with Clotilda and I this afternoon. Please follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and please check out our website for some other interviews with some of our amazing WASL partners. And we look forward to seeing you again.